I just wanted to make 3 points, really, which builds on, I think, Mike's stuff, really. First is the supply we are building isn't focused on meeting the needs of London. The second is that London won't solve its housing crisis through supply alone. And thirdly, if these strategic issues are not grasped with, London will be in a bad place in the future for Londoners, developers and investors. So I think it's a really critical time for us to grasp them. On the 8th of July, Family Mosaic will be launching a report called Future London. It's a research project carried out by the London School of Economics, looking at how London is growing by 100,000 people each year, and the implications for existing and new housing. Not surprisingly, the supply does not match the needs. We are building for the richest and the poorest, which I benefit from as a housing association, but the needs are ballooning in the middle. Young people are coming to London, less old people are leaving, and families are increasingly being squeezed by being unable to compete in the private rented sector. And I think these findings raise questions about the GLA and local authority strategies. The GLA sets targets for overall numbers and for social housing needs, but doesn't really look at the middle ground and the needs there. And local authorities tend to concentrate on homes for the poorest in their housing strategies and don't think about the new people arriving in London. We are not going to meet need through building alone, but what we do build, we should try and target to an audience that will benefit London most. And I think that's a strategic discussion we need to have. Last year, Family Mosaic started a debate on London's housing strategy. And we got a cross-section of developers, architects, people from housing, local authorities, and our residents in the room. Mike, you joined us that day, and gave them 6 hours to write a London housing strategy. It was a bit of fun. We all had buzzers, you know, vote for this, vote for that. But it produced a report called London Calling. You can guess my age from the title of that, if you know about the Clash. The report obviously concluded that supply needed to increase, but to address the problem, action was needed on how we use the existing stock, which outnumbers the new supply by 100 to 1, and the property tax systems we need used throughout the country to help, so they should be changed to help support new supply and the different use of existing homes. The carrots and sticks. Finally, the final point that I wanted to make is that if we don't grasp these issues in a strategic way, there will be consequences for London. This may be economic performance, the loss of jobs and talent, increased overcrowding, and return to Victorian-style housing standards. And you can see it already happening now. Our report, Future London, shows how it has even declined since 2001. So what can stop this trend other than a comprehensive review or London changing direction? If it does continue on this line of decreasing standards and increasing cost, then public opinion, you called it anger, but I'll just be politer than you, Mike, will demand other forms of intervention. So if we don't change, I can see more interventions from local authorities on quality, particularly in the private rented sector, and rent controls in the private rented sector. And I believe unless we are addressing all of these issues and having a coherent housing strategy, that will happen under a London mayor from the left or from the right. It will be both. And I don't think that's in anyone's interest, so I think the challenge for us all is to get our act together and make sure we have a strategy that's delivering for London. So to conclude, we have to be more strategic to solve this problem. We have to build more of what London needs, and we have to remember this can't be done by supply alone, nor without a plan for the whole housing system. Thank you.